Matt, so say somebody wanted to check out a cool, funny, and informative Let's Play series, what would you recommend?
IGN's Prepare to Try series.
Well, yeah, obviously, but if they wanted to watch a different one, which is also cool, funny, and informative...
But that'd be our one, Clickbait.
That would be our one. So The Last of Us playthrough with our friend Paul, which is on YouTube at the moment. The first 2 episodes, at least.
Third one's coming.
Third one is imminent.
Yes.
But that's linked below. If you want to check it out, it's pretty good fun. We had a good time. Good.
You get relationship advice. What more could you want from a Let's Play series?
Exactly. Shall we get on with the show?
Let's get on with the show.
Welcome to the show. We talk about real film movies, which are both the same thing, but we'll talk about the news and reviews and your views on film and TV and comic books too. We'd love to hear from you. We hope you enjoy it too. So subscribe to Real Film Podcasts and Reviews.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Film Podcast. In this, the 18th episode, we're going to talk about all things Harry Potter and why we hate it. Nah, we're just kidding. Or are we, Matt?
No, we hate it.
We hate Harry Potter. It's shit.
Well, the films.
The films, we hate them. Or do we hate the most recent film, though?
Keep listening to find out.
There we go. Let's do the news.
What's been going on in the news? What's been going on in the movie news? Well, that actor you like's done another thing. There's a few more reboots and a sequel too. And that other guy got caught with some cocaine. It's the news.
So some interesting Marvel news this week, or last week. Don't know, it's been a while since we recorded. But the Inhumans... What?
Just a Marvel fanboy.
I'm a Marvel fanboy, but...
Marvel all the time.
Always Marvel. I'm Batman, though.
True.
I'm not a comic racist like some people. But the Inhumans film that was supposed to be out... I think it's out in the middle of Infinity War films, which are no longer both Infinity War films. Sorry, originally got pushed off the slate for Phase 3. And now it turns out they're just going to do a TV series instead.
Well, they're all the Inhumans are in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., aren't they? So
it'll be interesting. I assume it's going to be an ABC one, is it?
Probably, yeah. If they've got the rights to...
Yeah, not a Netflix one.
Yeah, well, it'd be a bit weird. They'll conflict with deals and everything, I'm presuming, won't it? So, like that ABC probably have the rights for part of the rights for the characters and stuff, don't they? So, presumably,
it's quite an interesting development since apparently it was. Is it Isaac Perlmutter, the guy who was in charge of? He's the CEO of Marvel. Basically, was the one that Kevin Feige was originally reporting to until Disney decided to get rid of him. Apparently, he was the one who was really keen on Inhumans, and Kevin Feige wasn't that bothered about it. Perlmutter really loves X-Men, so he kind of wanted to do an X-Men thing, but with the Inhumans. Now Feige's in control. He's like, nah, get rid of that.
Yeah, well, just where does the Inhumans fit in with all the rest of them? If they put in films as well, we've got too many teams going on. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy, got the Avengers, got the new Avengers, we've got Doctor Strange now, we've got,
Spider-Man.
If you put them in the film verse, there's just too much kind of going on. So I think it's a smart move to keep it on TV because the people that watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will have an invested interest in those characters and will watch the TV series. Whereas, like people won't really have that if they don't watch the TV series anymore. Like I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. I mean, I'd go and watch the Inhumans films because it was a Marvel film, but I won't be racing to get there or anything.
Even if Vin Diesel's playing Black Bolt, which is the rumour.
Already in.
Yeah, no, apparently he's playing Black Bolt as well, but he doesn't speak.
Okay.
Because he kills everyone if he speaks.
I don't really care about Vin Diesel, so...
Why? He's so good, Matt.
He is so good and takes everything so seriously.
That's what I like about him. He doesn't realise that everything's a joke.
Yeah.
On him. It's almost like everyone... I always feel like everyone in all these films is taking the piss out of him and he doesn't quite realise.
It's like even with Groot, you didn't seem to understand how seriously he was taking it.
Yeah. He has
4
lines.
Yeah, one day of
4 words.
Voice work turned into a week, didn't it, or something?
Something like that.
You just think, you literally say, I am Groot a few different times, and then you say, we are Groot. I reckon James Gunn just set him up in his own thing and just went, you stay here as long as you like, Vin.
Yeah. There's like a clip of it, because he didn't mocap it, did he?
No,
There's a clip of him like walking on the stilts and stuff. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he did, to get in the zone.
In character as a tree.
Yeah, to be fair, you say that, but Benedict Cumberbatch lay on a load of rugs and slithered about for Smaug. So.
He mocaps that, though, didn't he? He mocaps
to the extent that you can motion capture a human being trying to be a dragon, yeah, but Vin Diesel's crazy.
Yeah, he is a bit. That's it. That's my news. I don't really care, to be honest, but
no, I don't care
not a
that
lot of
much.
news. It's been a slow news week.
You still watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, because it's not started over here yet.
Okay, I need to.
So I keep trying to see. I keep seeing spoilers everywhere. It's annoying, but Ghost Rider's in it, and he's supposed to be really good, actually.
Yeah. It's not Nick Cage, though, is it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite strong. So.
Okay, I'll maybe watch season 2 then. I watched season 1. I really enjoyed season 1.
Season 2's better.
I think once you get into it, and I think anything's like that. Sort of like with the Flash as well, and things like that. That most superhero TV things. Once you get into the characters, you kind of want to know where it goes.
But
it's a little bit crap.
But I think it's like knowingly a bit crap. It has that kind of Joss Whedon kind of like Buffy kind of like we know we're being cheesy, and we're going to play on it. Whereas the Flash, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. feels very self-aware. The Flash feels like it's not self-aware at all.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like all the kind of the deep scenes in the Flash, or like this is supposed to be deadly serious. This is me pouring my heart out, etc., etc. This is an emotional moment. Whereas in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it feels like they're not playing for that, or they'll make a joke about it later on or something. And that's why I like it really more than the DC.
Maybe I should watch it. Maybe I'll watch it at some point.
Do you have some news?
I do have some news. This is I've got a very quick bit of news that a trailer for my latest short film may be dropping in the next couple of weeks.
No. This is not a place for self-advertisement.
Yeah, it is.
No,
We've literally started the whole podcast with an advert for our Let's Play series, so
yeah, well,
keep an eye out for that. But my next piece of news is sort of a technological
What's the film
piece of news.
Are you going to give us a title or anything, or where it might drop? If you're going to advertise, at least
the title is called A Father, a Daughter, so look out for that. The trailer's very good. I edited it myself, so I know. Yeah. So my actual piece of proper news is about Ang Lee's latest film. And I remembered actually our last episode where we spoke, was it last episode or the episode before, where we spoke about films that were critically acclaimed that we didn't like. Life of Pi, I should have mentioned, which was Ang Lee's last, which he won Best Director for. I've read the book. The book's really interesting. The film I found really, really boring. Everyone said it was visually amazing. Yeah, some of the visuals were cool, but some of the stylized stuff just didn't work for me at all. But that's beside the point. His next film, called Billy Lynn's Long Half-Time Walk, which is a ridiculously long title for a film.
Very specific.
It's a very, very specific film. Just he's trying to push technology with it even further. So it's been shot on 3D cameras in 4K, which both have been done before. But then it's shooting at 120 frames a second, which is
that's more than human eye, isn't it?
Yeah. So 24 frames is what average film is. Peter Jackson's The Hobbit trilogy pushed it to 48 frames a second, which split people, I'd say. I think some people liked it, some people didn't like it. It's kind of jarring at first, and then once you're about half an hour in, you get used to it. Your eyes get used to it, I'd say. That'd be my sort of review of it.
I enjoyed.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where you don't really notice it when it's good, which makes you think, is it worth it in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm kind of... Well, it comes on to something that I've read that Ang Lee said, which I'll go to in a minute. So Avatar is doing 60 frames a second, I think. Yeah, Avatar's doing 60, which is close to what the human eye does, I think. And then now Ang Lee's gone 120 frames a second. And in this... and apparently the reactions are really mixed at the minute. So apparently some people say it's like the film. I don't know if they're talking about the technology or the film itself is revolutionary. And then some people have said it's a fucking crime against cinema. So, pretty divisive. But at the weirdest part, like, I've never actually read an interview of Ang Lee before, but the kind of part that grabbed me was Ang Lee's sort of arrogance about the whole thing, and really annoyed me a bit. That he's saying, it's a gradual thing about getting used to it, which I agree with. And he was like, when you have something new, you don't know how people are going to take it. Again, fair enough. Where's he saying here? Yeah, he's like, even in the grounded drama, like what he's doing, it can like immerse you and bring clarity and stuff. But he was saying the Hobbit tie frame rate obviously kind of split people, and that was the first film to kind of do that. But he said it's not the technology's fault. He's gone, technology cannot take away from the storytelling. If that happens, that means you are not good enough for that technology. Technology is how we use it. It's what you make of it. And you just think, you're calling out one of the most successful directors of all time there, saying he's not good enough for the technology that he's doing. Also, he's doing a backwards sort of thing of saying, well, if you're that good, why do you need the technology? If you're that good at storytelling, why do you need to do it at 120 frames a second? Do you know what I mean? He's sort of gone, if you can't make this, if people are noticing it in your film, then you're not good enough. But I'm going to do it because, you know.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's a very weird kind of way to do it, and it just seems like, especially like a gritty drama, I just think, what's the point? Again, if your film's good enough, I'm going to be immersed in it. I don't need like things to look like they're coming straight at me in a drama. I just don't. I just think, what's the point in that? If your storytelling's good enough, then your storytelling's good enough. Why do you need to add that expense to it? Plus, you get 120 frames a second. How many cinemas are actually realistically going to be able to show that? Probably not a lot.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Either the film as you intended it to be done. So, who knows? But I thought it was an interesting bit of news that someone's pushing technology to that sort of extent, really.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like, someone's got to do it, hasn't he?
Yeah, someone's got to do it, definitely. I just think Ang Lee's opinion on it's very backwards and kind of a bit hypocritical and odd in a way.
Yeah.
Because, to be fair, he took a book that I thought was quite good in terms of its storytelling and everything, and made it incredibly boring but visually incredible. So, with Life of Pi. So, but he's going, oh yeah, if your story's not good enough. I was like, all anyone did about Life of Pi was go on about the visuals. That's all anybody cared about.
Yeah.
No one cared about the storytelling because your storytelling wasn't that good, and you took most of the interesting stuff out of the book. So, you know,
dickhead.
Yeah, that's my news anyway.
Director, isn't he?
I think he's overrated. Yeah,
did the Hulk, didn't he?
That's pretty bad.
With what's his face? Eric Bana.
Banner, yeah. Bad film.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
No.
It's not great. Shall we move on to our review section? What we've seen at the cinema this week? That's the name, isn't it?
So I don't know.
Guess he went to the cinema this week. We saw some films and we watched some Netflix. Listen up to our ill-informed opinions, and then go and see it all anyway. Because who knows, not us, but we'll rate it anyway.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. We know where they are, they're in the suitcase.
Yep.
Is the latest Harry Potter film?
Set in the Harry Potter world.
Set in the Harry Potter world in 1926. So it's about Newt Scamander, the guy who wrote the textbook Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
On a side note, see how much they're selling for?
No.
They're going for about £100. You've got one, haven't you?
Yeah.
They go for about £100.
Oh.
Some of those original ones.
You can whack that on eBay.
Yeah.
I'll turn it upside down and say it's like a printed upside down version, so it's extra rare.
Do it. Get like one. Do that.
Oh, I might do that. I'll wait a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
The hype will die down, though, won't it?
Wait until the 5th in the series comes out and then sell it.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think most of the books, like first edition books, are worthless right now, aren't they? But
yeah.
Apart from the first, maybe Philosopher's Stone one, but
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the film. So it's this guy who has animals in his luggage, basically, And it's a story about irresponsible pet ownership.
Yeah, he's a magizoologist, which is a really lazy.
There's a lot of lazy acronyms in this film, though. Like
actually, I hate
Nomad, Makusa.
I hate Nomad. I don't mind Makusa so much, apart from the fact that it sounds like Yakuza, which is the Japanese mafia, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Nomad really does my head in. Like the guys on the Weekly Planet described it perfectly, because I didn't know what was annoying me about it, and they described it perfectly as it sounds like a British person coming up with a word that an American might use to describe someone that didn't use magic.
Which is exactly what it is.
That's what I mean, but it's too rigid, you know what I mean? Muggle feels like an organic thing that will develop over time, like Nomad just feels really clunky. I don't know why.
But the thing I'm confused about as well is like, why haven't we heard anything about Makusa in any Harry Potter film?
Because you haven't thought of it yet.
I know, but exactly. So it's really lazy. It's like it's really bad being like. I assume the Ministry of Magic was like the Ministry of Magic for everyone. And there's no mention in Harry Potter at any point about wizards being in America, which just seems weird considering our relationship with America as a country.
Yeah, there's obviously wizards in France and Bulgaria and stuff with. It
seems weird as well, like the Goblet of Fire, where there's sort of you've got the wizard, the Quidditch World Cup. Yeah, and at no point is Makusa involved at all in like Voldemort coming back, which like obviously there would be.
Yeah,
it just seems really weird to me. It's just crowbarred this whole Makusa thing in there, like, oh, here we go, we're the Americans now. We're in control, and it's like I don't know. I don't know how much has been introduced in like Pottermore as well, because I haven't followed that at all.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe something happens to them later on in this film series.
Maybe they'll die.
Maybe. Are we doing non-spoilers?
Yeah, let's go non-spoilers.
What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it, but was not blown away by it.
I thought you crashed.
You what?
You enjoyed it? I thought you'd crashed because the pause was that long.
I enjoyed it. To be honest, I enjoyed it a lot more than the Harry Potter films.
Same
but
here.
I think that's probably because there's no kind of source material that I've got an expectation of.
I don't even think it's that.
But I think it's a better film. Yeah, I do.
It is a better film. I think we mentioned it when we did our prequel episode, or one of our episodes where I've ranted about Harry Potter. I've always said the problem with these films is that it's like, okay, it's my line of dialogue, your line of dialogue, my line of dialogue. Okay, next scene, your line of dialogue, my line of dialogue, your line. Okay, next scene, shoot some spells. Whereas this actually had
jump off a cliff together.
Yeah. This actually had a pace to it, and it had moments where it let everything.
Yeah, it's got a really nice cast as well, actually.
It does. It has a really good cast.
And what I really liked about it was everyone in it is like really likable, and kind of like everyone's doing what they're doing because they're nice people, and it's not like they're doing it because they're Harry Potter and their name's on the cover of the book. They're doing it because, like, Eddie Redmayne's character is in it because he kind of gets wrapped up in it rather than because he's like, it's his destiny to do it. It's like, oh, I'm just here now. I'll just try and help people out because I'm a nice guy.
That's what I mean. He gets wrapped up in it, and then he goes, he's a nice guy, isn't he? He's a caring person, so he wants to help people, and that's why he's there. And I think it also benefits as well from having, I'm not going to say Nomad, the Muggle, I can't even think what he's called now.
Jacob.
The short fat guy. Yeah, Jacob in it. Because a lot of the time in Harry Potter, everyone was acting like everything was really normal. Even Harry, who had grown up with Muggles, it was like, yeah, that's flying books, normal. The staircase, normal. Floating ghosts, normal. Whereas with this, they'd kind of start doing something weird, and then they'd cut to a shot of him just going,
what the fuck?
What the hell is going on? And it kind of is really good to have that. And there's a scene especially where Newt Scamander's doing some ritual to try and capture one of his beasts back. Spoiler, they get out. And it's really weird, but then it just cuts to a shot of Jacob stood there just going, what is going on at all? And I think it really benefited from having that, like someone who, for want of a better word, is like the audience.
Yeah, and it's not overplayed either.
No, it isn't.
One of the things that really annoys me about The Flash is the his like black dad is the only way of describing it. I can't remember his name. The police detective.
Yeah, Joe.
Joe, yeah, his black dad. Like every single time something is explained, he's like, what does that mean in English?
Yeah.
Every single episode he says that. It absolutely does my head in. It's so annoying. Yeah, everyone else understood it, pal. It's fine. Well, I get it. I don't need you to say, what's that in English? And then the white girl always has to say, oh, he just has to run really fast. And it's like, okay, get it now. I don't need that guy. But yeah, it wasn't like that. It was quite sort of funny.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Nice.
There's two kind of storylines going on in this film.
There's a lot of racism going on.
There is. I kind of it wasn't in your face, actually, to be fair. I knew it was going to be there because I've read reviews and heard stuff about it, but it wasn't too in your face. It wasn't kind of winking at camera going, yeah, this is a analogy for today's society. It was just kind of there, but it made sense that it was there at the same time, I think, because of when the film was set and everything.
Yeah.
And obviously the Salem witch stuff did happen, so it was kind of... It made sense that it was there. So you got one storyline, Newt Scamander comes to New York, some of his creatures get out of his case, has to get them all back. Then you've got this second separate, kind of quite darker storyline about the Salem witch hunters trying to spread the word that there are still witches out and wizards out there and trying to get people to join their cause and everything.
To kill them.
How did you think those two storylines melded together?
They're obviously incredibly crowbarred together, but I didn't really mind it, to be honest.
No, I think they actually did a better job than I've read in some reviews.
Yeah, no, I did. I heard people saying it is basically two films, and Newt kind of isn't really the lead character, to be honest.
No, I
don't feel like the film really suffers because of that.
No, I don't. I think it's more of an ensemble piece, isn't it, really, than this is, the big Newt Scamander kind of film. And like, it's like a weird scene to have in this place. I actually thought generally it was quite, well done in the fact that it had some storylines. And yeah, generally there was a little bit too much setup for this 5-film series that we're getting. But overall, I really enjoyed it.
So shall we talk about the 5 films without spoilers?
As far as we can.
So a lot of this film is kind of setting up this conflict between Muggles and wizards, basically. And we already know that this whole series is going to be about
Grindelwald.
Well, the future film is about Grindelwald, who's basically Voldemort 80 years earlier, and Dumbledore kind of bringing him down, I guess.
Yeah, although Grindelwald's a much more interesting villain than Voldemort.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's all about. Well, he's kind of wizard Hitler, isn't he?
Yeah. He's sort of got this thing of we've got divine right because we've got magic and things like that.
Or Magneto.
Where's Voldemort's just, I'm a bad guy, so I'm going to do bad things. Grindelwald, you can kind of go, I can see why you would have that opinion because he has magic.
But at least he has an opinion, which Voldemort doesn't have.
Yeah, that's what I mean. At least you can look at him and go, I can see sort of why he would think what he thinks. Yeah, don't go killing all the Muggles, but I can kind of get where he's coming from. So I think
it's a whole new
straight away,
you, Matt.
Yeah, I'm a Nazi. I think straight away he's a much more interesting villain than Voldemort. So that bodes well, I think, for the 5 series because you can have a lot of conflict there with him, and you can almost do it in a way that you can make him make a speech where he says what his opinions are and almost try and convince people to be on his side. Do you know what I mean? Sort of the way only it's done a little bit latest Doctor Strange film where Mads Mikkelsen's character is talking to Doctor Strange about his views in it, and you kind of go, actually, he's putting it in quite an eloquent way and obviously where he's coming from, and you can kind of do that, whereas with Voldemort you couldn't because he was just, I want to kill everybody apart from these people that are my slaves. So I think it's got a good villain already.
Is Newt going to be in it?
Yeah,
because he's like in this film, he's basically there to do stuff with his animals and kind of gets inadvertently caught up in it because MACUSA are after him because he's like an animal escape, which will obviously kind of increase the tensions or kind of make the wizards less conspicuous.
Yeah, I don't think
more conspicuous. Sorry. So that's kind of how he gets caught up in it, but it's not his job to bring Grindelwald down by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't really see, because obviously it's going to be about, because Dumbledore and Grindelwald are obviously friends as kids, which is assumably way before this film. So we're going to get flashbacks of them growing up together, or a prequel even of them growing up together, and kind of because their teenage years seem a lot more interesting, because there's sort of points where Dumbledore's almost kind of agreeing with Grindelwald, and that seems more interesting to me than like the story after that of Dumbledore defeating him.
Yeah, I mean, Dumbledore agrees with him, but to a different extent. He sort of agrees that they have this power, but he thinks they should use it to benefit Muggles, and sort of it's twisted because he thinks they should almost rule them, but for their own benefit. Yeah. Whereas Grindelwald sort of thinks we should conquer them, and if they don't like it, then we'll kill them all, sort of way.
That's the really interesting conflict, and like Dumbledore kind of being persuaded to Grindelwald, because he's probably, I think at one point he does get quite close to kind of, and their sort of quest together to get the Deathly Hallows will be really interesting. But I'm assuming this is way past that point.
Yeah, it's way past that point. I hope they don't do it flashbacks, because I think flashbacks have been done really badly in the Harry Potter franchise as a whole. I mean, there's not been a lot good in the Harry Potter franchise as a whole, but especially the flashback bits always feel very fake and very forced, and they don't really explain anything as much as they kind of should. So I hope if they're going to
get Godfather 2 stuff.
Yeah, if they're going to dedicate some time to it, I think they should. It should be a good section of a film at least, but I can't really say any more on that, I don't think, without spoiling some stuff from this film.
Is there anything else you want to say? Non-spoilers.
Non-spoilers.
I
think all the actors are
actually really good. Actually,
really. I mean, Ezra Miller is all the actors in this film. I didn't find any of them too. It's kind of strange, really, because in a film where Eddie Redmayne was posted as the lead and the protagonist and stuff, I felt he was good. He was fine, but I felt he kind of shined the least out of some of the characters in this film.
It's kind of more Ezra Miller's film, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. But I enjoyed all the actors, actually. I think the acting standard was actually quite high in this, which, when we get on to talking about Harry Potter, it'll be interesting to kind of go, well, why is that? Why could David Yates pull a single performance out of pretty much any cast member in 4 Harry Potter films, however many he directed? And and it's not because they're just good actors in Fantastic Beasts, because there were good actors in the Harry Potter franchise, so it'd be interesting. Yeah.
Let's go spoilers.
I think that's it. Let's go full spoilerific.
Were you surprised when Colin Farrell was Johnny Depp?
That was one of the only parts I didn't like about this film.
It's so weird, isn't it?
It's
so unnecessary.
It was so unnecessary. I was saying this to Mum as soon as we finished, and just the fact that it didn't have to be that way. I would have really liked it if Colin Farrell had escaped that situation, and then he'd gone and met up with Grindelwald, and we'd seen
made so much more sense.
And he'd sort of gone to Grindelwald and gone, the New York job's failed. That it didn't happen, but there's this. I don't know, not something as cheesy as this, but there's this guy called Newt Scamander, and he got in the way, and he
zooms on his face. It's like dun 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 dun.
To be fair, that is only one of the parts that I didn't like about this film. As soon as I saw it happen, I just went, "Oh, this is stupid."
But why isn't Colin Farrell just Grindelwald?
Because they cast Johnny Depp as Grindelwald.
But why? Why isn't everyone else pissed off or fed up with Johnny Depp yet? That's my question.
I think everyone is, apart from film producers.
It just seemed weird. Like, you could have just had Colin Farrell, could have just been Grindelwald.
Because Colin Farrell was really good in this film.
Yeah,
I really liked
that Colin Farrell's character is a real person, 1, and 2, still alive.
I have no idea. I don't think so. But I don't know. But what annoyed me about that whole thing was, because basically, well, if you've listened to this bit, I'm presuming you've seen the film, but Newt Scamander does Revealio on him to reveal that it's Grindelwald, and you just think, well, why would you cast that spell? There was nothing there to hint that was a different that he was hiding anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Newt Scamander just went, I'm going to cast this Revelio spell and see if it reveals anything. Oh my god, it just happens to be Grindelwald here.
Maybe he's just a really safe guy, does it in every person he meets.
Yeah. I felt that was really stupid. It was either...
Doesn't trust anyone.
They couldn't think of a way to explain it, or they thought they explained it and they really didn't. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the end was equally as lazy as well.
Yeah, it's kind of really strange because J.K. Rowling obviously wrote this film, which she hadn't done with any of the Harry Potter films, and she's usually very fond of explaining things. Like in the book, there's a whole chapter at the end of near the end of the last book where she explains everything, just puts it all out there on the table. This is what this is what that is. So it kind of seems strange that there wasn't anything there to explain why.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but
because I get like why he was why Grindelwald was in New York, because he'd had this vision and he was looking for this very powerful Obscurus to help him, kill all the Muggles. It made sense why he would be there, or he would send somebody to be there. But then it just made no sense why Eddie Redmayne then went, I'm going to cast a spell to reveal who you really are, because there's been nothing up until this point, apart from the fact that they've got the same haircut, even though Newt Scamander's probably never met Grindelwald, so he won't know what his haircut is, to prove that
papers, isn't he?
Colin Farrell is hiding anything, like any secret identity or whatever.
Yeah. Ezra Miller then turns out to be... They're sort of on the hunt, or Colin Farrell's on the hunt for this Obscurus for pretty much the whole film, kind of manipulating Ezra Miller to try and find him. And it turns out Ezra Miller was the Obscurus, which is basically what young witches and wizards become if they kind of suppress their powers, which is a metaphor for being gay, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Is that astute of me?
I actually really like that idea.
It's a really cool concept, actually. I really like that concept. It's quite clever.
I kind of thought, because I thought, that's actually really cool, because people might be like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they kind of started experiencing this weird sort of power and they were Muggle-born.
So apparently that's...
what do you do?
Possibly that's what Dumbledore's sister might have died of.
That's quite cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, obviously, because she...
she got bullied, didn't she, by kids?
Yeah, she did, so she tried to suppress her magic. It's definitely a really cool, really, really cool idea. Again, it kind of falls... You can kind of buy the fact that if you just forget about it, that, it's never mentioned in any of the previous 7 films. But I think you've got to give it a bit of leeway, haven't you? But they didn't think they'd be coming and making this sort of stuff again, I suppose.
Yeah,
but no, I kind of really liked that concept sort of thing. The only thing I was kind of going, well, it was a bit strange, because obviously Ezra Miller knows that it's him, knows that he's got this power.
Yeah.
So does he not know that he's the one Colin Farrell is searching for?
I think he does. I think that kind of makes it worse, though, because then he's got to suppress it.
Yeah, but does he not? Oh, does he think that Colin Farrell's gonna
kill him or something? And that's another thing as well. The Ministry of Magic. This might or might not be true, or whatever they're called, MACUSA, kill a young man, and it's just like, should we go home then? Yeah, right. Put the kettle on.
Yeah, I think
but apparently they shot a scene of Ezra Miller leaving on a boat, maybe with Newt.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't in the film, so I don't know whether he's going to reappear or not. But it'd be a shame if he didn't, because I really liked Ezra Miller.
It is. There was that bit at the end, wasn't there, where, I mean, you wrote in the review that it didn't have a bad guy turning into a load of floaty off bits, but it kind of did. Because he just, all the bits just kind of float away. But there was at the very end where there was a little bit just sort of floating away, and it kind of made a very specific kind of point of doing a close up on it, kind of floating away. So maybe
I didn't realize. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Respects Ezra Miller lives on. I thought he was very good, and I think that it'd be a shame if they don't kind of expand on that idea of people trying to suppress this magic. I think that was a really nice idea that I liked it, because I work at the cinema, and I've been kind of going into kind of, and I've caught bits of the film, and I've caught the name like Obscurus, and I've been kind of going, that sounds like it's going to be the big bad kind of thing. I wonder what it is. And I thought it was going to be a creature. So it was really interesting to actually watch the film and find out what it was. And I was kind of like, oh, that's actually a really, really cool kind of idea there. And it wasn't too in your face either about what it was trying to say.
Yeah, no, it's quite subtle.
Yeah, I think that was pretty
good.
Pretty cool, yeah. The only thing I didn't like about that sort of thing was you're obviously supposed to believe that it's Ezra Miller's adopted sister, and they kind of forced that a little bit too much. They just keep doing close on her and close up on her and close up on her. Just think, oh, I get it. It's supposed to be her, but guess what?
Her. It's going to be someone else.
It's not her, yeah.
The old bait and switch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anything else to say? So there's obviously going to be some. I mean, Newt was. There's a mention of Dumbledore where Colin Farrell says, "Why is Dumbledore so keen on you?" So maybe Newt kind of comes along in the adventure that way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like Dumbledore will have taught him, and apparently in the storyline, obviously, like Newt gets expelled from Hogwarts, and Dumbledore tries to stop them from expelling him, basically. So he obviously sees something in Newt. But the other thing that doesn't really make sense is, if you get expelled from Hogwarts, your wand is supposed to be snapped in half, and you're not allowed to be entered. So that doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it's a new law, that.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. No, because Hagrid, it's already happened to Hagrid, because Hagrid's before this.
Is he?
Yeah, because...
Where's Voldemort in this? Is he alive?
Oh, wait, actually... Oh, no, it would be later than... Yeah, actually, it'll be later than this, yeah. But yeah, I think there's supposed to be a bit of a crossover, but when's this set? The
26.
26, that's like...
Shall we Google Voldemort?
See, yeah, I think there might be an overlap between Newt and Voldemort at school. I could be lying there.
There's Tom Riddle on the Harry Potter wiki.
Go on.
Let's see, loading.
I could be very mistaken.
He was born in 1926.
Oh, okay. So he won't have been at school then. No, so this is before Hagrid, yeah.
Oh, he died.
Maybe it is.
Oh. Didn't realise that. It's weird. Shall we see? It doesn't say. Early life. Hogwarts years, 1938 to 1945. So
okay.
I think J.K. Rowling said it spans till 1944, the series, so maybe we'll get a
little bit of Tom.
Little bit of Tom Riddle.
Tom Riddle. I don't really care, so.
No, I don't care. Yeah, but it's alright. It's a good film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm reading your notes here. Lestrange.
Oh, yeah, because Newt mentions Lestrange, doesn't he?
He does. That felt a bit... Where are you going with this? Okay,
Yeah.
you know where with this.
It felt like a name drop, didn't it?
Yeah, like, oh, remember the Lestranges? Remember Bellatrix? Everybody liked her.
Yeah, Helena Bonham Carter.
Well, this is one of her relatives.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Maybe in love with her, maybe not.
J.K. Rowling did an interview and she did say it was like a really important thing for the future of the series.
Yeah,
so.
The problem with things like that is that was very obvious. It was kind of going, remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this, but you're going to have to remember it in 2 years' time when the next film comes out. It wasn't going, remember this for later on in the film when we're going to reveal something, but it wasn't subtle enough that only hardcore people pick up on it and go, oh, I wonder what that is. Let's start theorizing about it. So I think that was kind of off in a way.
Yeah.
But to be a film that was trying to set up lots for a future series, I don't think it left too many things not tied up. I wasn't at the end.
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sat there and going, oh, for God's sake, I don't know what happened with anyone there, which is what can happen with a lot of these films. You don't really know what's happened with anything because they're trying to set up another 4 films. But for the majority of this, it felt fine. But actually, we were talking about in this spoiler-free section about how is Newt going to fit in with this overarching Grindelwald-Dumbledore battle sort of thing. Obviously, Newt is the one that sort of catches Grindelwald in this film. So is he going to have a personal vendetta sort of thing against him?
Maybe Newt will die.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It was a good time.
It was.
Nice.
Best Harry Potter film, yeah.
I'd say so. Almost certainly.
Yeah.
With
Definitely.
that, let's segue into the main topic, which we'll have to do quickly.
Yeah, super quick.
Harry Potter, why we hate them.
Do 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 do.
When did John Williams get here?
Been here all along.
Sat behind me.
Yeah. Do you want to know why I hate
my heart?
Do you want to know why I hate these films?
Can I start with my Twitter poll that I did?
Yeah, go.
We're doing a Harry Potter podcast next week, and we got to know your thoughts on books v films, I said. I did books better than films, films better than books, both or neither. Books better than films got 32%. Films better than books got 9%, which is shocking that anyone even
thinks that.
Even did that. 41% said both and 18% said neither. So 50% of people are incorrect there.
Yeah.
That's generally the way things go these days, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Trump.
I actually did some research for this episode, and the lowest score for a Harry Potter film on IMDb is 7.5. No, 7.4, sorry.
Oh.
Which is ridiculously high. It tops at 8.1 with the last one.
It's crazy because I've seen a lot of this stuff. You know, being on Twitter with a lot of people who do film blogs and stuff, and they're so well regarded. And even stuff like Empire Podcast and the IGN Podcast just rave about the films. And I have no idea why. And we should probably start this by saying that we've read the books.
We're huge Harry Potter
fans. We did Queued Up at Midnight. We've listened to Stephen Fry talk about narrate the books more times than we should probably admit on the internet. I just don't see where people are coming from.
No, I don't. I really, really want to like these films. I would love to see a Harry Potter film that I really liked because I think the universe is really good. I think the characters could be good, but I just kind of sit down sometimes and go, I'm going to watch these films and I'm going to like them. Sit there, just like what is going on? What is going on with these films?
Should we also say as well that we are also massive Lord of the Rings fans, and therefore we're not just being snobby because our favourite book got made into a film that wasn't as we imagined it. Yeah, we both love the Lord of the Rings books and films because Peter Jackson made a good film.
Yeah,
three good films.
And to be fair, the Lord of the Rings is more different from the book than Harry Potter is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's so many sort of. Yeah,
but it's a good film. Whereas
better than
Harry Potter, it's
a great film, I'd say.
It's a great film. It's an amazing film.
My favourite film.
15 years old today.
I know, it's sad.
Yeah. I don't know how you make something.
Should we go chronologically, kind of quickly?
Yeah, let's do it.
So it starts with Harry Potter. So it starts kind of like, I think the scripts and the overall plot of probably the first three films
is solid.
I find kind of more, is solid. Kind of, the kid actors are a bit shit. But Prisoner of Azkaban's probably my favourite one, to be honest, because I think it sticks to the book. It does what the book does well. It doesn't make weird choices that... I can understand why you have to adapt a book to a film. You have to make different choices, obviously, but they make choices that don't make sense in a film. Later on.
Or so the first storyline.
So the first three, you kind of have like... And I should just say, I think the older cast in this are generally pretty good. Maggie Smith and Robbie Coltrane. The Ewok guy.
Yeah,
Warwick Davis. They kind of cast the old characters or the older characters. The Weasleys are kind of quite good.
Yeah. Thingy, Julie Walters and
that was a guy.
He's called only bad one's Michael Gambon, really.
Should we talk about Michael Gambon?
Michael Gambon is not Dumbledore.
He's horrible in that role.
I can't imagine a worse incarnation of Dumbledore. He's the complete opposite of Dumbledore. Anyone that's read the books and likes the books, if you like Dumbledore in the films, you're an absolute idiot and you completely misunderstood everything the books are even about.
It's weird because the books for me kind of are as much Dumbledore's story as they are Harry's story. The whole books are about Dumbledore's Dumbledore's fight against Voldemort, and he kind of handing the baton over.
Yeah.
By basically kind of. I sort of see Harry as like a Wagyu beef steak or something that Dumbledore kind of like.
Yeah.
kind of feeds up, nice and fat, and then like hands him over.
Yeah, I mean, complete spoilers for the Harry Potter franchise.
Oh yeah, sorry.
But obviously, the whole point is that Dumbledore has made the very, very hard decision which is killing him for the greater good of
the greater good.
Yeah, he needs to sacrifice Harry to defeat Voldemort, which in the book comes as a shock because Dumbledore's such a nice, caring character. He's always looked after Harry, and you get the impression that even though he's doing it, he doesn't want to do it, but he rationalizes it as it's the only way to defeat Voldemort, which it is. Whereas in the films, you just go, well, yeah, of course Dumbledore's sending
Gambler's a fucking psychopath.
He's a horrible human being. Of course he's doing that. I'm surprised he's not killed them all already.
Those are my favourite points as well. Like in those books are like it's the same formula, but after Harry's like escaped Voldemort, when they have those like little chats, and you can tell that Dumbledore like is a father figure to Harry. And at no point in those films does that ever come across. And the worst example of that is when Harry's name comes out the Goblet of Fire. And Michael Gambon just goes fucking apeshit. Did you put your name in a Goblet of Fire? It's like, that's not... Dumbledore knows that Harry would not have done that. It's like...
Yeah.
Or would not have been capable of doing that because Harry Potter is the worst wizard ever.
Apart from Ron Weasley and Neville Longbottom.
True, yeah.
No, Harry's a great wizard because it's not all about books. It's about friendship and loyalty.
That's not being a wizard, though.
No, it's the worst life.
It is terrible, isn't it?
That's J.K. That's on you, J.K. Rowling. That's just...
She's not a great writer, though, is she? I think she's a good storyteller. She's a great storyteller. Yes. A great storyteller. Very much the George Lucas syndrome, I think.
Yeah,
I was saying that George Lucas. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's written better than some of the prequels for Star Wars.
Oh, without doubt, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what I really would have wanted is that there's a bit which I always remember it's in the Goblet of Fire when they find out the movie between Barty Crouch Jr. using Polyjuice Potion, and I'm pretty sure this is like the exact line in the book, and it says, and for the first time Harry realised why Dumbledore was the only wizard that Voldemort ever feared. And it's because he's never seen Dumbledore use magic, apart from a little showy bit of thingy. He's never seen him angry before until the fourth book, where Harry's life is endangered so much that he isn't a nice wizard anymore. He's the incredible powerful wizard that defeated Grindelwald, that has nearly defeated Voldemort.
Yeah, with the most powerful wand in existence.
Yeah, but they completely ruined that because Dumbledore's angry all the time.
Yeah.
So you completely lose any of that impact of Dumbledore being an incredibly powerful wizard, which is a real shame because it's like one of the most interesting things ever. And I just think, how did you manage to do this within this film? How did you manage to ruin Dumbledore so much and just completely misunderstand Dumbledore? And I don't know how J.K. Rowling, who had an input in these films, let that happen.
Yeah, I'm very confused by that.
Because it isn't my book, but I can tell you for a fact that that's not Dumbledore.
Yeah.
I'd like one day for her to give an honest interview about what she thinks of Dumbledore in these films.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like the perfect Dumbledore would have been Ian McKellen, but obviously he did Gandalf, which it's the same character. J.K. Rowling just basically copied him directly from.
Yeah,
in any way, I think McKellen's Gandalf's probably it's a lot nicer than he is. Like McKellen's Gandalf is Dumbledore-ified, kind of.
Yeah.
Because in the books he's kind of a bit harsher, a bit sterner, which is kind of if they swap roles would kind of make more sense in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I feel they should have just given McKellen as much money as he wanted, so just begged him to do it because he would have been perfect. And who cares if it's the same? If it's the same role, like he would have been perfect in that role.
Yeah, he would have been.
And there's bits as well. There's interviews with Michael Gambon where people are like, "Oh, have you read the books? You found the books?" And he's like, "No, I don't care." It's like, yeah, you can tell you don't care, mate. You can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's so sad because it's such a cultural phenomenon. You just think you could have got someone great to do that role. You could have, really, really found somebody who would have really, done what Ian McKellen did on Lord of the Rings and really invest themselves in that role and everything. And
actually read the books, the source material.
Yeah, and you just think, it's just poor directing, I think. And it's kind of strange because Ian McKellen came in the third one, which is directed by Alfonso Cuarón. Yeah, came in the third one, sorry, yeah. And the film's directed by Alfonso Cuarón, who is a very good director.
Yeah.
And I just think, why did you let Michael Gambon do this?
Yeah.
Why was this allowed to happen?
I can't really remember him in the third one, to be honest.
I don't think he's as bad, but it's just poor directing. It's not.
Yeah.
Well, even sort of Daniel Radcliffe's come out and said that you didn't really get much in terms of direction on Harry Potter.
Yeah, it does show.
It was
Daniel Radcliffe as well. Like, he's pretty bad in those films.
Yeah,
and since I think he's been in Swiss Army Man, he's incredible in that film.
Yeah, he admits that he's bad in those films.
Yeah.
Because, and again, he says, I wasn't given much direction. I wasn't really given any. He was like, I didn't really start to understand acting until I finished Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because
David Yates.
He was basically just reading lines, and I can understand as a kid, just reading lines, because he wasn't young enough to have that really raw young actor talent where they kind of don't really know what acting is and the sort of living it real life sort of thing, which is what really young actors can do. He was old enough to understand what acting is and understand the cameras and everything, but then wasn't given direction. And then but it was still quite young, so you go, it's okay that he's crap because he's trying to act, because he's 11, 12, and he thinks, the film I've got to act. Whereas when they got older, you just think, you've got to direct them now. There's no excuse for them not to be good anymore.
Yeah. No. There's as well as sort of acting, there's a lot, like, going back onto writing, there's so many sort of examples of where they've just kind of misunderstood what's going on. Like, you've kind of got the Burrows scene. I know you mentioned it, I think last episode or the one before, where the Death Eaters attack the Burrow in I think it's Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah.
And you think, there's no way they'd be able to do that because there's
protective charms
around the place, and if Bellatrix Lestrange can just turn up and attack the house, then Voldemort can attack the house or apparate into Harry's room and finish him in his sleep. Why is he not doing that? Like, it's a simple internal logic thing that should be in every single film. You should think, does this make sense? Well, no, it doesn't. Let's get rid of it then. And it's a stupid scene. It doesn't need to be. It wasn't in the books. Why would you add it in?
Yeah,
it's like they just needed an action beat for the start of the film. So just thought, well, I'll put it in then.
It's not even at the start. It's about midway through, out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, because you're right.
It's kind of ridiculous because Harry Potter shouldn't be about the action beats and everything. It should be about the relationships and everything, and that's the problem with a lot of it. They turn these little sequences that are in the books into huge extravaganzas and then just skip over all the actual people talking and the interesting kind of storyline things. And there's another bit that's just nearly as stupid as, not quite as stupid as the Burrow sequence, but in the Order of the Phoenix at the start when Harry leaves Privet Drive, they fly on broomsticks.
Oh God!
They just fly to the centre of London,
past like buses and
and they go along the Thames and go past one of the barges and the ferries and stuff. And you just think the whole point of flying is that you don't want to be seen by Muggles.
And they've all got charms on as well in the books, haven't they? And Harry's got his cloak on, and they've got like obscurus charms and stuff.
Yeah, I understand that doesn't really work in a film because you can't just make everybody invisible, but you make them fly high, don't you? And yeah, I know they kind of wanted to go, we need a dynamic opening to this film, but you just go, but it doesn't make sense. And I think that's another thing they've completely misunderstood. Wizards' relationships with muggles, they've completely misunderstood all of that. And one of the things that does my head in the most is the costume design.
Yeah.
That they all just dress not like normal people.
It's just a school uniform. School uniform is a school uniform with like a dressing gown on top. So that's not a robe, that's a dressing gown on top of a school uniform.
Yeah. But that's it. It gets lazier and lazier because at least at the start they've got the shirt and the jumper and the tie and the robes and they've got the hats on and stuff. By the end, they're just walking around in jumpers and shirts with the sleeves. And it's like the whole thing is that they're supposed to completely be separate from muggles. That's
There's a scene as well, isn't there, where someone doesn't know, like someone's trying to put on a dress. He's like, no, you need to wear these.
Yeah, and there's a guy wearing a kilt poncho and stuff. And
that'd be it's really funny, like beat as well. You could have a really funny beat of that.
Yeah, it's just really stupid because you're saying that these two societies are completely segregated. And in the second film, Harry and Ron get done for nearly exposing the wizarding world to muggles. But then for the rest of it, you're just going, it doesn't really matter, does it? Let make them fly past that barge. That looks pretty...
That's cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, can you... What have your name is? Are you the costume designer? Yeah. Do you want to do any work? Well, I prefer to just have the weekend off. Oh, fine, just put them all in shirts and jumpers. That's fine. There's some Converse over there. Do you want to just get like 100 of them? Just put them all in them. Yeah, that's cool. That's literally what it felt like.
It's weird as well because a lot of the sets and like Hogwarts and stuff looks pretty incredible.
Oh yeah, all that stuff looks great.
The costume,
But it's kind of like they've kind of gone. Do we really want to spend all this time completely making up a whole dress sense for wizards, or should we do what's easy? And they've gone, let's do what's easy. Okay,
yeah.
That's what it always felt like.
That's
to
what
me.
the whole film feels like, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
it doesn't feel like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings again is like. And if you watch the behind the scenes footage of that, it's like we designed this piece of clothing because this is what Tolkien said in the book, and then Tolkien took this from this lineage of people, and that's what they used to wear, and that's where we got our inspiration with. There's so much historical research that went into like why everyone was wearing what they're wearing.
Yeah.
And that's why those films are so good, because of the level of detail that go into them. And this is just like, do you want to write a script from this book? So yeah, right. Do we need a new action scene? Do you want to write an action scene in? Yeah, go on then. What if they just attack the house? Yeah, we could do that. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Do you want some fire in it? Yeah, stick some fire in it. That'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be good. And then, yeah, just get on with the rest of the book, and then do a bit more fighting at the end. That's kind of what this film feels like. All these films feel like that, to be honest.
Yeah, they do. It's really sad because they could be really, really good. And as I say, I really, really want to like these films. There's just nothing about them that feels sincere, really. It all just feels like, yeah, I'm watching a film here. Yeah. I am watching a film. I'm sat watching people act.
I wonder without John Williams' score. I think that to me, that's the only fondness I actually hold to those films.
Oh yeah, the score's incredible. I think because I know people are going to say, "Oh, they're so like negative about it." There are some good things about it, but I think it's just because I can imagine how good these films could be.
Yeah,
it's because I have such a love for the source material, and I know. I mean, I've seen worse films in my life than Harry Potter, but I actually care about these films.
But it's kind of unforgivable when you've got a good source material there.
Yeah.
To make something so lazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're sat here talking about this, but there's millions and millions of people out there who absolutely love these films, which I find really weird as well, because if you love the source material, these films do not do that justice whatsoever.
No, it's like...
I find that weird that people still love both.
Yeah, it's like our sister is a massive Harry Potter fan. She's, she loves the books and everything. She's got like about 4 versions of the book, but then she loves the films as well.
Yeah.
But we maybe should have got her on for this, because we sort of say to her, how do you like it? She's going, I just do.
She's not a big film person, though, is she?
No, she isn't, but you still just go, but how do you like, when you love the books that much, how can you say that they even compare on any sort of level to what the books do? Because they don't at all. And I understand with the early ones, they felt a bit rushed, I think, because I don't think they wanted to cut much out, and the books were quite small, but they were just like a little bit too long to fit 90 minutes. But obviously, by the end, J.K. Rowling was writing arguably too long. But
Order of the Phoenix is just too much.
But the Order of the Phoenix is the second shortest film.
Yeah, no, it's weird, isn't it?
Out of it. So,
and Deathly Hallows did not need to be 2 films.
No, it didn't at all. The last Deathly Hallows Part 2 is the shortest at 2 hours 10, and then Order of the Phoenix is 2 hours 18 minutes, and I'm pretty sure that's like 1,000 plus pages.
Do you want me to go and look?
I'll Google it.
I can see it on my bookshelf.
Go and get it. It's got to be around that mark, surely. It's massive.
I've done it. It's cutting edge. Oh, you might be wrong.
I might be wrong.
Yeah. My edition is...
It's quite long, surely.
766.
Oh, yeah, that's a long book.
I might read these again, actually. They've got that great... Mine have got these great old book smell now.
Oh, yeah. It's the originals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long book to fit in.
It is, yeah, of course it is.
And that is the weakest film, I think. Even though what she called is pretty spectacular at Umbridge. What's she called?
She's good, yeah. No, I do like her.
She's great because you hate her character, but you're supposed to. She nails that character absolutely perfect.
The other thing that annoys me is the Dursleys, actually. They annoy me in the films.
I think the problem with the Dursleys, though, is that in the book they kind of work because
they're quite complex in the book, particularly later on. They get really complex, and then in the films they just don't bother exploring that really at all.
Yeah, they don't in the books. Because if you put on film what they do to him in the books, it'd be borderline. Well, it'd be child abuse.
Well, we had that in Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, we did, but obviously they were going very much. This is wrong. This is wrong. You couldn't keep doing that at the start of every single film, like abusing the main character, and then going, okay, he's going to go back there now at the end of each term, because you just go, what? Why a child surgeon's not getting involved here? This surely some magical, surely Dumbledore.
PCC, Harry.
But then again, because the books got longer and they need to get along with the actual main storyline, I kind of understand why the Dursley stuff was whittled down, I suppose.
But could they not have done... I suppose this might not have worked because each one's like a year, but you know, Lord of the Rings, where they cut it differently to how it is. They split it up differently to how it is in the books. So Boromir's death and stuff is in Fellowship rather than Two Towers, and Shelob's in Return of the King rather than Two Towers. Could they not have messed around with bits and moved them to a different film? Yeah, you could keep the year different. Yeah, you could keep each one's a year, but you could move events from, say, Order of the Phoenix over to either Goblet of Fire or Half-Blood Prince, either side. Would that not have worked?
I'm not sure what was the lineup with the books to the films, though, in terms of them coming out. Yeah. Can't remember when they came out in relation.
Maybe, but again, they probably couldn't be asked doing that. So
yeah, definitely could have spoken to J.K. Rowling. Siebes.
But just important character beats aren't necessarily part of the timeline. So they kind of fit in anywhere, but they kind of need the beat in there. You could just move them.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I just don't really care about any of the stuff going on it doesn't make me care, even though I've read the books and I'm invested in it because I've read the books. I don't care about the characters in the film, really.
Yeah.
Again, spoilers, when Fred died in the book, I can remember sitting there being like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What? Fred's not dead, is he? No. And just thinking, he's going to come back, isn't he?
Darth Vader style.
Just went, no. It can't be. Yeah. And in the films, I just go, I don't really care.
I'm quite happy because you two are really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird casting in the Weasley family. Where it's just they've just got people based on their aesthetic rather than their ability to actually, deliver a line of dialogue convincingly. You know, the twins are awful. Ginny's obviously, I mean, what
Yeah.
what
Again,
her audition, what she must have pulled something out of her arse in her audition tape, because how she ended up in one of the biggest grossing franchises of all time based on her performance in those films is shocking.
Yeah, but that's the filmed all over, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
style over substance.
Yeah, that should be the title of the episode. Harry Potter, style over substance.
Yeah,
we might get some hate. I'm going to try and hashtag loads of Harry Potter
and that makes me really sad.
And just see people get angry at us.
I'll do it. Yeah, it makes me really sad. It does that they're not good.
Oh yeah, it does.
It feels like a very much missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing, isn't it? Because it's like, well, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. And like, as someone who isn't a filmmaker, I should not be looking at a film saying, "That's wrong. That's wrong. I could make a better film.
Yeah.
Or at least I could write a better script than this, based on the source material." Which I feel is stuff as well that kind of lends itself. It's not a dense book. It's not a hard book to adapt to a film.
No,
it's not like Lord of the Rings, where, I mean, a lot of Tolkien's Lord is so dense and so. There's a lot of dialogue heavy stuff that you cannot do in a film. And that's why Peter Jackson cut a lot of it out. But it's really simple, linear storytelling. That's yeah. I don't see how you cannot adapt that effectively, to be honest. But
no,
there's no Nolan-esque sort of twists or turns that need to be cleverly kind of
no,
set up and stuff. But who knows?
It's a shame.
I've run out of notes. We said clothes.
Yeah,
I think we've covered our points.
I think if we keep on going, some sort of Harry Potter group is going to assassinate us, I think, if we carry on.
It's not live yet, is it? Or is it? Theresa May's hacking all our internet. Might be live.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's probably watching us.
Yeah. Most likely.
Bitch. Yeah, that's it. That's what we think of Harry Potter.
That's it.
I mean, I really want someone to kind of. I feel like I'm watching it in a different universe to other people, because I don't understand the love for it.
Really big Harry Potter fans.
I kind of get the love for stuff like I don't know.
Do a commentary.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Have you heard of the Mandela effect?
Vaguely, yeah.
Where people during you misremember something, and you're kind of convinced that's what happened. People think like that's a memory from an alternate universe or reality.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's what's going on.
Maybe, or maybe not.
Maybe
we're just right and everyone else is wrong.
I think so.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it. That's the whole show.
That's it. Yeah.
It's depressing to rant about things and finish a show.
I know, yeah.
Fantastic Beasts was good,
Fantastic Beasts was good.
Who did you cast as Dumbledore?
We spoke about this the other week, didn't we? We said Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, we did say Tom Hiddleston.
He's got twinkly eyes.
He's got what?
He's got twinkly eyes.
Oh, Elijah Wood.
He's got no twinkle. Oh yeah, Elijah Wood.
He's got good eyes, hasn't he?
He's got baby face, hasn't he? He's got very good eyes. CGI Elijah Wood's eyes onto Tom Hiddleston's face.
Sorted.
Perfect.
You are welcome, David Yates.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
They can find me at MJHolly4 on my personal Twitter account, or if they want to hear me,
not the one run by my assistant.
No, yeah, my personal one. And if people want to hear me talk some more in podcasting format, they can find me at Fortnightly Pod. You should check that out. We're going to have a new episode up probably about the same time as this one. So we're on iTunes and SoundCloud and Twitter and Facebook and all that sort of stuff. So we talk about current goings-on around the world, and it's a good episode. I'm editing it right this second, so I can tell you it's comedy gold.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And if people want to help out this show, what could they do?
Give us money on Patreon account.
On Patreon.
Do we take check? Do we take checks?
I mean, you could send it to my address, I suppose.
Yeah, that's cool. But maybe Patreon's the best way.
Patreon's probably the best way, because then you can give us like 50p a month. It's nothing, is it?
That's not. What's 50p a month?
Well, I mean, it's exactly 50p a month, but
if you work, there's nothing in it. That's like absolutely nothing of your hour's work, is it? But it helps us out if everyone did it.
It would help us out a lot, actually, if everyone did it. But we don't expect it. Should make that clear. But it's not. It's like we don't care, but we do if you give us money.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be very kind of you. It's Christmas.
It is Christmas.
The festivities.
But also, if you don't want to just give money away to strangers, then what you can do is you can go on Amazon, or Amazon affiliate link, which I'll link in the description. And basically, if you buy something, if you click on that link and then buy something through Amazon, we get some money back somehow. And that's no extra cost to you using that. So that's good. Don't know why that works, but apparently it does.
I don't.
And you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, which will also be linked below, on SoundCloud, which I'll link below. You can find us on Twitter at realfilm_movies, and on Facebook at realfilmmovies. And I thought I was going to get through that without coughing. You can find all our latest reviews and content at realfilmmoviereviews.wordpress.com. We're also on YouTube, so subscribe to us on YouTube, because we're also going to put the podcast up there as well now, as well as our gaming series, which might have a new episode soon. Maybe a Dark Souls episode at some point.
Maybe.
It's just going to be a lot of the start of games, isn't
it? Maybe. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then we might finish the games at some point.
I think we could do a Batman one, Telltale one. That'd be quite cool.
Oh yeah,
because it's like decision making, and you can vote. Like you can get more than one player to vote. You can do like multiplayer, and then the most popular decision wins. That could be quite cool.
Very cool.
And we both like Batman.
Yeah, we do.
Next week, should we do Black Mirror next week?
Yeah, let's do Black Mirror. I'll finish watching it
because we can
talk about it.
We're going to be on a holiday together.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Yeah, we can podcast. I said, yeah, fun.
I'll edit that in over the bit where you cut out, and it'll sound perfectly natural. I'm not going to do that.
That's fine.
Definitely
don't do it.
We might have
too much time.
Guest.
Life's too short. YOLO.
Life's too short for podcast.
Maybe. Yeah, don't know who the special guest will be.
It could be Claire. It could be any of our. It could be some of our relatives.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Or it could just be two, with them making noise in the background.
That's probably. Most likely it's going to be people annoying us when we do a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do a big group discussion, couldn't we? No, it's not going to work.
No, chaotic.
We might do a Let's Play as well, so don't know. We might have some new stuff.
Yeah.
We might not. Who knows?
Lots of fingers in lots of pies.
Yeah, maybe too many pies. Too many pies, not enough fingers.
Oh,
maybe we need some more fingers. If you want to be a new finger, let us know. We can have you on the show.
Can't have too much pie. Yep.
Yeah, unless it's free pie.
Speaking of pie, can I go and eat my pie now?
You can go and eat your pie. I'm going to go make a steak.
Have fun.
That's what I'm going to do.
Bye, everyone.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Or sometime in the future. Bye.